Welcome to Chad Hates Carbs. Today we're going to do random food hack day. This is pancakes, and I don't have an actual recipe. I just kind of play around with stuff based on what I have. I have stevia that I'm trying to get rid of because I don't really like it that much. I have just a little bit of my flax chia blend left over, so I want to burn through that stuff. I've got a little bit of almond milk, so I'm just going to start making pancakes. The basic theory, at least when I was growing up, it was always eggs, flour, and a little bit of baking powder. And the pancakes that I've been seeing a lot online, there's not enough leavening in it, so they're pretty flat. They're almost like crepes. So I'm trying to do some stuff that's a little bit different than that. So we're gonna basically use eggs, like a lot more eggs than most recipes call for, because hey, we're doing low carb, right? So eggs, I've got 4 here. The last batch that I made, I think I only used 3 eggs. So in this case, I'll just end up making more than I did last time. Last time I think I got 4 nice big pancakes, and I mean big. They were pretty hefty. You really only needed to eat about 2 of them, and you were very full, because we don't mess around with worthless ingredients. So anyway, so we got 4 eggs in there. We're going to go ahead and wash our hands. Anti-salmonella, right? We're going to beat the eggs, and then because I'm using the stevia, I am going to kind of cheat and put some extra flavorings in this, just so it doesn't have that same kind of aftertaste, because stevia is the one that I don't particularly care for the aftertaste. So we're going to beat the eggs. I'm going to dump in all of the flax chia blend I have left, which is probably, I don't know, that's maybe half a cup-ish. And we'll beat this in as well, and we'll see what the texture looks like. That's really all I'm doing right here, is just looking for texture, and I'm trying to get it to where it's not super runny, because I'm getting rid of the rest of my almond milk here. It's probably going to take quite a bit of almond flour. This is very much not a ratio thing. This is a just guess a lot and hope it works, which is why it's fun. I could literally do one of these shows every week and it would be totally different. The results would be totally different. Alright, so that's that. Still kind of runny. Well, not kind of, it's very runny. So we're going to do stevia. That's probably half a cup maybe. Normally it calls for, like, I want to say like a lot of them will call for 1/3 of a cup to go with 2 cups of almond flour or some such. But this is my favorite way to cook, which is just do random things. When I was a kid, we used to always, we had our basic pancake recipe, and then we always added secret ingredients. And sometimes, most of the time it was good, because it was just flavoring stuff that we would add, but sometimes it got pretty sketch. Alright. Still really wet, so we're just going to... Actually, let's go ahead and add the baking. I'm adding baking powder. I don't know, probably that much. And then I'm also adding cream of tartar, because last time I did a pancake recipe without it, for some reason it didn't rise as much, and my wife, who actually majored in food science, said, hey, you should add some cream of tartar. Because cream of tartar, I guess, baking powder is baking soda and cream of tartar, and she indicated that perhaps I needed more of whatever cream of tartar is, like the base or the activator, or I don't know, some sciencey thing. And yeah, she's the smart one when it comes to food science. I just put random crap in bowls and go. Alright, so let's add some almond flour until we've got reasonably, that's probably, I don't know, 3/4 cup. Let's see where we end up. The last batch I made of this type of stuff, when when I was trying to do the use the flax meal. I ended up using carbulose instead of almond flour, and it worked really, really well. But carbulose is one that my wife, she doesn't do real well eating it, so I'm trying to figure out if this is going to work better for her. I'm going to use vanilla. I don't know about that much. I don't know, maybe half a teaspoon or something. The idea of using the vanilla as well as I'm going to put in cinnamon and nutmeg is to kind of, well, first of all, it tastes like eggnog, and who doesn't like eggnog? But secondly, it helps to mask the flavor of the stevia a little bit better. Obviously, you don't have to put the extra flavorings in if you don't want to. I like extra flavorings in my stuff. It smells really good. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get this going. You want to heat this up pretty good. I don't know, medium heat, medium high. If you go medium high, the problem with this, okay, let me back up. You want to go medium high, probably more to the medium side. If you want to start it out really hot so it heats up and then cools down to a more reasonable temperature, that's fine. You of course can use an electric skillet. I just cook them one at a time because that way I can watch them, and I don't burn a whole batch of them if I have a problem with one of them. And that's the issue that you run into with this. Because the batter is so thick, it doesn't bubble the same way that a regular pancake batter would bubble. And so you end up with issues where it starts to get dry around the edges, and that's the way that you have to tell, because you can't wait for the bubbles like I normally do in pancake batter. And I always forget that when I'm making these. So anyway, so that's kind of what you have to do when you're creating pancakes that are a little bit thicker like this. Now, as far as like how much you put in, I just take the batter and I just let it come out kind of in the middle, and I let it get, I don't know, I let it get about that big. And the idea here is you just let it sit, and like I said, you want to wait until it dries around the edges, and when it dries around the edges, that's when you flip it. So we're going to go ahead and wait on this guy, and once I get some results, I will come back and show you kind of what it looks like. So it's really, this type of thing is pretty easy, and like I said, it really is just eggs and some kind of a generally you want to use some kind of sweetener, and then some kind of flour product, and then baking powder obviously is the key. But like I said, I've been having to use cream of tartar to make it, I don't know, to make it activate correctly. So anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes and I'll show you the results. There we have it. Pancake number one. Only takes, I don't know, took 30 seconds, a minute on one side and 30 seconds or a minute on the other side. Probably a little bit longer on the first side, obviously, because it's got to cook. It's going to cook most of the way through on that first side. And yes, I'm a peanut butter on pancakes guy. If you've never had peanut butter on pancakes, you should definitely try it. It's awesome. Not necessarily better than butter as far as like high-fat, low-carb diet, because this does have some sugar in it, because it's not sugar-free, whatever, peanut butter. But I figured this is like, it's kind of like eating dessert for lunch. So anyway, that's my thing. So this is just sugar-free syrup. I love me some pancakes, and they're pretty easy. I have no idea what the carb count and whatever on these are, but if you only end up eating 2 of them, it's probably fine. But they taste like eggnog. These aren't as thick as the ones I made the other day. You can see there's, with the flax and chia in there, it kind of gives it a little bit more of a grainier texture. Almost like if you've ever had pancakes with cornmeal in them. Not bad. These aren't like super fluffy, but they're pretty good. Anyway, so that's like pancakes. Again, there's all kinds of different combinations of things you can do, and as long as you use eggs and flour, you're going to have something there that's going to be cakey. The key here is the baking powder, and then like I said, I have better luck with them not turning into crepes, like super thin crepes, if I add more cream of tartar. Otherwise they just kind of flatten out all over everywhere and they're just super runny. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.